Back in school in South Africa, the tuck shop wasn't just a place to buy sweets and chips. It was our universe. It was the center of our social lives, the place where friendships were forged, and where we learned some of life's most important lessons, often in the most unexpected ways. It was a place where coins meant happiness, where the clinking of small change could buy you a moment of pure joy in the form of your favorite treat. Those coins represented freedom, choice, and a little bit of independence. One day, something extraordinary happened. Mrs. Dlamini, the kind woman who ran the shop with a warm smile and endless patience, ran out of small change. It seemed like a minor inconvenience at first, but it quickly turned into a full-blown crisis. Suddenly, kids with big bills, the ones who usually had no problem buying whatever they wanted, couldn't buy anything. Their larger denominations were useless without the ability to get change back. They were stuck, holding their money, watching everyone else enjoy their snacks. Meanwhile, those with exact change, the kids who had carefully counted out their coins, walked away with snacks, triumphant in their preparedness. They were the lucky ones, the ones who had unknowingly cracked the code to this new, temporary reality. It flipped the script completely. The usual social dynamics were turned on their head. For the first time, having more money actually put you at a disadvantage. It was an absurd situation, a bizarre twist of fate that no one could have predicted. The lunch line, usually a straightforward process of waiting your turn, turned into a mini-class system, a reflection of the inequalities that existed in the world outside our school gates. Suddenly, exact change kids were the new VIPs. They were the gatekeepers to snack time happiness, the envy of everyone else in line. But something interesting started to happen. Some kids, recognizing the absurdity of the situation, started pooling coins, creating their own little economy of favors and shared resources. They began to help each other out, sharing their exact change or lending coins to those in need, demonstrating a remarkable sense of community and empathy. It wasn't just about snacks anymore. It was about fairness, about recognizing the inherent imbalance in the system and trying to correct it, even in a small way. That day, we learned how systems, even silly ones like the tuck shop, can be unfair without anyone meaning harm. It was a lesson in unintended consequences, a reminder that even well-intentioned systems can create inequalities. The problem wasn't the kids, who were just trying to buy their snacks, or Mrs. Dlamini, who was simply doing her job. It was the system itself, the lack of small change that created the imbalance and prevented everyone from participating equally. The real solution wasn't to punish or reward anyone based on the size of their bills or the amount of change they had, but to fix the system so everyone had a fair shot at getting their favorite snack, regardless of their access to small change. Maybe the school needed to give Mrs. Dlamini more change to start with, or set up a system of IOUs for those who only had larger bills. Social justice at its core is about looking at the rules, the systems, the structures that govern our lives, and asking a fundamental question: are they fair for everyone? Do they provide equal opportunities for all, or do they inadvertently create barriers for some? Sometimes the rules need to change to be reevaluated and adjusted, so everyone gets a chance to participate and succeed. It's not just about kindness, about individual acts of charity or generosity, although those are important too. It's about making sure the system itself works for all, that it's designed to be inclusive and equitable from the start. That tuck shop drama, that seemingly insignificant event, it's a tiny version, a microcosm, of the bigger fight for fairness and justice that's happening all over the world. It's a reminder that the principles of social justice apply not just to grand, sweeping issues, but to the everyday moments of our lives. Social justice, in its simplest form, means making sure everyone can get their snack, their basic needs met, their fair share of the pie. It means creating a world where opportunity isn't limited by the coins you have in your pocket, or the circumstances you were born into. It's about fixing the system, addressing the root causes of inequality, not blaming the people who are struggling within it. Because everyone, regardless of their background or their access to resources, deserves a fair shot, a level playing field. Everyone deserves a fair shot at the tuck shop of life, at all the opportunities and possibilities that life has to offer. So, you've probably heard the term social justice floating around. It sounds complicated, maybe even a little intimidating, right? But at its core, it's really about fairness. It's about creating a level playing field for everyone in society. It means everyone, regardless of their background, deserves the same basic rights and opportunities to thrive and reach their full potential. No matter where they're from, what they look like, who they love, or what they believe in, everyone deserves a fair shot. Imagine playing a video game, a game where everyone should have an equal chance to win. But what if your friend starts on level 10 with all the power-ups, all the best weapons, and unlimited lives? And you're stuck on level 1 with a broken controller, barely able to move, let alone compete? That's not fair, is it? It's a clear disadvantage right from the start. Social justice is about making sure everyone starts with a working controller, a fair set of tools, and a reasonable chance to progress. It's not about guaranteeing everyone wins the game, because life isn't about guaranteed wins. It's about making sure the game isn't rigged from the beginning, that everyone has a fair shot at success. This idea stretches to schools, ensuring all students have access to quality education and resources. It extends to jobs, where everyone deserves equal pay for equal work and opportunities for advancement. It includes healthcare, ensuring everyone has access to the medical care they need, and respect in society, where everyone is treated with dignity. Social justice asks the tough questions. Why do some people get less, face more obstacles, or experience discrimination for no good reason other than who they are? It's about breaking down those invisible barriers, those systemic inequalities that hold people back. So your identity, your race, gender, socioeconomic status doesn't unfairly decide your future or limit your potential. Fairness, dignity, and equal opportunity for all. A society where everyone has the chance to thrive. That's the heart of social justice, and it's something worth striving for. Maybe you think, my life's fine, why should I care? But an unfair society is like a boat with a hole. Even if you're dry now, the water rises for everyone. When people can't access education or jobs, we all lose out on talent and innovation. Inequality divides us, breeds mistrust, and weakens society. Fairness is the glue that holds us together. When people believe the system is fair, they participate and contribute more. Social justice isn't just for others. It protects you, your family, and your future. If the rules change, you could be the one left out. Standing up for fairness strengthens society for everyone. A rising tide of justice lifts all boats. We all benefit when everyone gets a fair shot. Social justice isn't just local, it's global. The things we buy connect us to people around the world, and sometimes those connections are unfair. Take the fashion industry. Cheap clothes often mean workers in other countries face unsafe conditions and low pay. That's a social justice issue. Climate change is another. Those who pollute least often suffer most. Wealthier nations have a responsibility to help fix global problems. From fair wages to climate justice, it's about shared responsibility. The fight for dignity and equality connects us all. When we see people fighting for justice elsewhere, it's part of our story too. We're all chapters in the same book, The Quest for Fairness. The road to social justice is tough, but history shows it's possible. Nelson Mandela's fight against apartheid in South Africa seemed impossible. Decades of brutal legal inequality. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, but he and others never gave up. They organized, protested, and kept hope alive. Eventually, apartheid fell, and South Africa held its first democratic election. That victory wasn't just for South Africa. It proved even the strongest injustice can be dismantled. Progress isn't automatic. It's won through sacrifice and resilience. The fight for justice is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be setbacks, but the wins can reshape the world. Ordinary people, refusing to accept injustice, make change possible. Their stories remind us hope and persistence matter. Social justice isn't just about famous leaders. It's powered by everyday heroes. Take the mothers of the Plaza de Mayo in Argentina. Ordinary women who demanded answers about their missing children during a brutal dictatorship. Their silent marches became a symbol of resistance and helped restore democracy. You don't need to shout to be heard. Quiet courage can change the world. Acts of justice are everywhere. A parent fighting for a better school, a teen starting a recycling program, neighbors building a community garden. These small actions add up. Change often starts at the grassroots, not the top. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things drive progress. You don't need fame or power, just the will to act. Every step toward fairness counts. Sometimes all it takes is one person speaking up to spark change. Malala Yousafzai wanted girls in Pakistan to go to school, so she spoke out, even when it was dangerous. She was attacked, but her voice only grew stronger, inspiring millions and winning the Nobel Peace Prize. You don't have to be Malala to make a difference. Speaking up can be as simple as challenging a bad joke, correcting misinformation, or supporting someone treated unfairly. Every time you stand up for fairness, you help build a culture of justice. Your voice sends a message. Injustice won't be tolerated. Even small acts of courage matter. One voice can inspire many. Don't underestimate your power. Use your voice. It matters. The fight for social justice can feel overwhelming, but small wins matter. Take marriage equality. It started with tiny victories. Local laws, company policies, court cases. Each small step built momentum, changing hearts and minds. Eventually the law changed, but it was decades of small wins that made it possible. Progress is often slow and steady, not sudden. Celebrate every step forward. A new ramp at the library, a diversity program at work. These aren't trivial, they're proof that change is happening. Hope is the fuel for justice. Look for good news, acknowledge progress, and keep going. Small wins are the building blocks of big change. Every effort counts. Keep the fire of justice burning. So you recognize the need for change. You feel the urgency in the air. But what can you actually do? How can you translate that feeling into meaningful action? It might seem daunting, but becoming an ally for justice is a journey, not a destination. Remember the tuck shop, the mothers, the everyday heroes who stood up for what's right in their own way? Remember that the power of one voice, your voice, can ripple outwards, inspiring others and creating real change. You have a role to play, a unique contribution to make. Start by educating yourself. Knowledge is power, and understanding the issues is the first step towards becoming an effective ally. Actively listen to people with different experiences than your own. Seek out perspectives that challenge your assumptions and broaden your understanding of the world. Read books, watch documentaries, and learn from reliable sources. Immerse yourself in the history and the present realities of injustice. Use your privilege, whatever form it takes, to amplify the voices of those who are often marginalized or ignored. In meetings, discussions, and everyday conversations, be the one who makes space for voices that are too often ignored or silenced. Being an ally means standing in solidarity, offering support, and amplifying voices, not speaking for others or taking over their narratives. Support ethical businesses that prioritize fair labor practices and sustainability, and actively seek out businesses owned by people from marginalized communities. If you have the means, donate to organizations working for justice and equality, or volunteer your time to support their efforts. Remember that your time and your money are powerful votes for the kind of world you want to create. Use them wisely and intentionally. Start small, with manageable actions that you can sustain over time. Be willing to have tough conversations with friends and family, challenge your own biases and assumptions, and commit to continuous growth and learning. Remember that change often begins in your own circles with the people closest to you. Start with your family, then extend to your school, your workplace, and your broader community. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We all do. The important thing is to learn from them, apologize when necessary, and keep moving forward on your journey. Remember, the journey to justice is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires sustained effort, resilience, and a commitment to the long haul. Every step, no matter how small, helps to move us closer to a more just and equitable world. Your voice and your actions truly matter. They have the power to inspire, to influence, and to create lasting change. So let's roll up our sleeves, join hands, and get to work. Together we can build a better future for all.